Come on in. Let's see. What are we going to play today? What are we going to play? I think we'll play some veggie blues in honor of the vegetables I got from Jimmy.
I was sitting at the table, just poking
I got
at
water
my
today.
plate, wishing that my veggies could change to chocolate cake. Yeah, but then I saw something that chilled me to the bone. My asparagus started singing into
a microphone.
and he said, "Hey,
Kid, you better be careful the way that you're looking at me."
don't you know that I'm
Microphone
the one
time.
who's strong and healthy? 'Cause when you
Get your body fueled with fruits and veggies too.
you're gonna have the strength to do the things you wanna do.
Bum, bum, bum.
Hands around the table, but no one else could see.
Crazy little number.
Sung to only me.
Yes,
Yeah,
please
then
share.
asparagus spoke it over. Said without food you waste, you'll even have the power to put away your plate. And he said, hey,
Kid, you
better be careful the way that you're poking at me. Don't you know that I'm the one who keeps you strong and healthy? 'Cause when you
Get your body fueled with fruits and veggies too.
you're gonna have the strength to do the things you wanna do. Finally got the message, and asparagus was gone. I'll ditch the sweets and choose a peachy healthy
From now on.
So pass me some tomatoes or toss an apple, please. Don't forget
The broccoli, how I love those baby trees.
Remember, hey, kids, you better be careful the way that you're poking at me. Don't you know that I'm the one who keeps you strong and healthy? 'Cause when you get your body fueled with fruits and veggies too, you're gonna have the strength to do the things you wanna do. And when you get your body fueled with fruits and veggies too, you're gonna have the strength to do the things you wanna do.
Yeah, I'm thinking about rearranging my studio, y'all, just a little bit. Getting more in the corner so I have light from two windows hitting me. Anyway, we will see. Here's to having a good afternoon. Anyway, so I left this morning's show, and it was Jimmy out there. He was playing with Tulip. Jimmy, if anything ever happens to us, Tulip would love to stay with him. I'm telling you, she loves Jimmy. Absolutely adores Jimmy. Well, I told Jimmy about how much the people wanted to do my pond. And I didn't want them to do all that stuff to my pond. I just want my pond back. I want my water running. I want it cleaned out. And you know, he got out there and cleaned it out right then and there. Right then and there, he cleaned out my pond. It took him about 30 minutes. And I'm sitting up on the porch talking to him. And he's down in there draining water out with a huge piece of hose. And he did good. And then Robert took him to town. He needed to go to the grocery store. And then Robert took him home, and he's going to come back Saturday, and they're going to hook the pump up, maybe clean it out again. Won't that be fun? Yeah, won't that be fun? So I am really happy that I've got the pond is coming back to life. And maybe I'll even put some fish in there. What do you think about that? Getting some fish. I'd like to have some fish, but we did. A lot of tadpoles went away. We have We have nursed many a tadpole over the years in that pond. Many a tadpole. And then Tulip won't be dirty when she gets in the pond anymore. So yesterday I was supposed to talk about the trip I took to Utah once upon a time. Now, this is a funny story, and I probably told it before. And my grandson is in Utah. He is in Moab right now. And Eric is in Utah. So Eric's my contact person in the event that Ethan needs help. And Eric would be there in a heartbeat. But Eric had his first concert in a year and a half last night. A free concert in the park. I've been to that park with him. Free concert in the park. And everybody was dancing. It was 110 degrees out there. And everybody had the best time. How cool was that? Even though it was hotter than blue blazes out there, he was putting on a concert for the community, and they had a ball. So I remember a trip that Michelle and I took to Utah, and I was reminded of it yesterday when Justin was or day before yesterday, when Justin was telling me all about Ethan flew to Chicago and then to Denver and then to Grand Junction, Colorado, over the Great Divide. And I've had a flight that had one more leg than that one time. It flew into Salt Lake City and then down to St. George. And the flight started at 6 a.m. in Asheville. So we had to drive 30 minutes. So we had to be at the airport. At that time, we had to be at the airport about an hour and 15 minutes. But I always like to be there 2 hours. So Michelle would get drug out of bed and she'd be ready. She'd practically sleep in her clothes so she didn't have to do much the next morning. And as soon as we got on the plane, she was already tuckered out. And so she put on her headphones and her eye covering, and she proceeded to sleep. Well, I'm wired at that time. I can't sleep for anything. I just can't do it. And so I'm sitting there, and we got this flight attendant, and his name was George. And I'll never forget his name because we were going to St. George. And I'm sitting there watching him, and he's funny. He's like these YouTube videos that you've seen about a flight attendant who's really a jokester. He's a comedian. But he was so good. He was so good. And y'all, when we travel, I never really have any cash on me. Michelle would handle everything, and I rarely had any cash. And now you use a debit card for everything, but I didn't. All I had was my emergency $100 bill that I kept in my wallet behind my driver's license. And this guy was hilarious. And, it's early in the morning. Nobody wants to talk to anybody else. And he had the whole cabin just laughing up a storm. And Michelle missed it all. And I told her when we got off the plane in Atlanta that I needed to contact Delta Corporate Services and let them know what a great guy he was. But on the way out of the plane, while I'm sitting on the plane listening to him laugh, I hear this little voice in my head said, "Dig out your $100 bill." Never done this in the past. Never. Hadn't really done it since then on a plane. Dig out that $100 bill. Well, I dug out that $100 bill. And as I got off the plane, I stuck that $100 bill in his pocket, folded up. And so we had to catch a plane in Atlanta, and then we had to go to Salt Lake City, and then we had to go to St. George. When I got off the plane in St. George, I get a phone call. I'll never forget it. I was sitting right there, standing at Eric's big truck tailgate. I mean, he had to get in his truck, he would have to put a step stool for me to climb in his truck. He has had to push me up into his truck. It was a big truck. And I get a phone call from Patty, and she says, "What have you done?" And I said, "What do you mean, what have I done?" She said, "We just got this testimonial from a flight attendant. And his testimonial just brought tears to my eyes." And I didn't tell her what I had done. I hadn't told anybody what I had done. And he wrote a testimonial that said, "On Sunday at church, we were having a tithing for third world countries to get Bibles in their language. And I gave every dime I had put back for my meals for this week in the flight, in our flights. And God told me not to worry, that He'd take care of things." And He said, "Today, as the flight ended, a lady," he didn't know me from Adam, and he was a flybaby, and I didn't know that. A lady got off the plane and she stuck $100 bill in my pocket. And that was enough to feed me this week. So when you let go and you let God, things are going to happen. I listened to a beautiful, beautiful conversation between Kim Clement and his person who'd been with him for many years, Llewellyn, and they talked about planting seeds like this. He planted seeds in Bibles for churches, for people in third world countries. He planted that seed, and that seed came back to him. And sometimes it comes back tenfold, y'all. Sometimes it comes back bigger and better than you ever thought about. Well, Kim Clement was talking about, God rest his soul, how he had planted a seed for them to have a house in the late 70s, early 80s, when he wasn't even a minister then, but they lived in a garage. He and his wife lived in a garage, and he had wanted to have a house that was theirs. And so he planted this seed into this ministry, and he went to pray for these people. They had a sick child, and he and a team went to pray for this child. But when he got there, God told him to pray for the father. And he started praying for the father because the father wasn't a Christian. Father was not a Christian. He started praying for this father. Other people were praying for the child. He directly started praying for this father. Now, all of this has happened in the span of 24 hours. And as his wife is with him at this prayer service that they're having at these folks' house in South Africa. And as he's leaving, the wife hands him an envelope with a check in it. He didn't ask for any money. He didn't ask for anything. He walked out the door, got in the car. He handed the envelope to his wife, thinking it's $10, $20. She opened it up and she started screaming. The lady had written out a check for $20,000 in 1970 something. That's a lot of money. I remember when Mama bought a house in 71, it was $21,000. It was $20,000. When I built my first house in 1975, it was $21,000 that we borrowed the money for. So in that day and time, $20,000 was a lot. And they found a little house and they bought this little house. And then God says to him, it's time for you to go to America. You've got to put your feet on the ground in America, and you've got to minister to the people in America. So they sold their house. And the money they made off that house, $11,000, got them to America, United States of America, and he was able to live. And he planted another seed. And he got another house. In fact, he got 2 more houses. God sent him back to South Africa. It was just a powerful testimonial. And when you can plant seeds like this into people, into wonderful ministries, I like to plant seeds into people. Because you can give a man a fish and they'll eat for a day, but you teach them to fish and they'll eat for a lifetime, y'all. It's powerful. Plant those seeds. I like to call myself Johnny Appleseed. So there's some great stories out there, but you got to be open to listen to these stories. And Kim had some powerful messages over the years. And they're all on YouTube, y'all. They're all on their website. They're out there. Listen to them. Know that he was a true man of God. He died way too young. So plant those seeds, y'all. I hope and pray that I'm planting seeds in you. Justin said he just posted a good testimonial that I needed to read to y'all. Let me see if I can find it. We had a good one yesterday about a FlyBaby who was not my religion. She's Buddhist. That doesn't make me not love her. And what's it keep doing? Where is Slack? I don't know where it is, the testimony. Maybe he put it in testimonials. Let me look there. Okay. This is a testimony about the FlyLady system in response to the email, "How do I tame the chaos monster?" Dear FlyLady and team, I can totally relate to Anna in Phoenix regarding not being able to keep up with everything. I too live in the Phoenix area. Summer, aka hell in these parts, leaves me exhausted. I understand we haven't turned our air conditioner on yet, but it's kind of cool today and no humidity, which is nice. Be kind to yourself first and foremost. Fill your cup physically, mentally, and spiritually before you tend to your family or home, job, etc. Make it a priority. If mama ain't happy, nobody is happy. Like the FlyLady says, take baby steps. Remember the story of the tortoise and the hare. It doesn't matter how long it takes to get to the finish line. What matters is that you will eventually get there. Don't stress over racing to get everything done now. As time goes on, routines and habits will lead you to that finish line. While number 3, while I struggle with paper clutter, yuck, um, I can't, I've come to I've come a very long way. I have the FlyLady to thank. But the one tool that she gave us that really puts the pedal to the metal is the do it now principle. When I go to put something in the kitchen, on the kitchen islands, I catch the catch all from you know where, Hades. I hear FlyLady say, put it away where it belongs, do it now. This principle alone has saved me many hours by getting off my physical to-do list as well as lightening my mental load. Also, under this do it now heading, I clean whenever I have a few minutes. If a splatter happens in the microwave, I clean it immediately with hot water on a FlyLady rag. If I'm on the phone, whether on hold with the doctor's office or talking too long to a friend, I grab my FlyLady duster, and before I know it, the house is dusted. Number 4, last but not least, there is something I have learned to let go, and it doesn't have to There's something I have learned to let go is it doesn't have to be perfect. When my boyfriend and I first moved in together, he would have criticized how long it would take to do one thing. One day, in a more light-hearted mood, my boyfriend walked into the bedroom while I was making sure everything was perfect with the sheets, comforter, pillow, etc. on the bed, and he said, "You know, today is Sunday, and the pillow police are off today, so you don't have to worry about the bed being perfect." We both laughed, and in that moment, I could see my perfectionism getting in the way of spending my time doing something that was more enjoyable. Now the bed gets made every day, but I'm more relaxed at the end result. Remember, the FlyLady says, vacuum just the middles. Try it. You will be amazed at how happy your heart will feel. I know this is long, but I hope this will give you a tiny nudge to all the Annas out there who feel like they can't do this. Maybe a new perspective of the same message will provide the motivation to reach that goal. Warmly, Joyce from Goodyear, Arizona. So, folks, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let it go. The do it now principle. These things will change your life if you will just let the FlyLady system flow over you. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to do the middles. Just the middles. Catch yourself putting something down on a table. Say, I'll go put that where that belongs. Catch yourself, not throwing the trash out of the mail. You're piling it up. Watch what you're doing, and you are going to be blown away about the changes that are going to happen in your home just because you decided to let that seed grow. Yesterday, when Justin brought me my flowers and a little piece of a bulb, that piece of bulb had a root on it. And I said a prayer over that little bulb. And I want y'all to say a prayer over that little bulb. God is going to make that bulb grow. And I'm going to get back a portion of that plant that was stolen. Don't allow clutter and evil to steal your life. Don't allow it. Let go of your clutter. And you will find that your home is large enough or small enough or whatever. It'll be just right, like the 3 bears and Goldilocks. It'll be just right. So, folks, let go of your perfectionism. learn to plant seeds. Plant seeds in others. Plant seeds in good things. Plant those seeds. We have hundreds of testimonials, y'all, from people who have planted seeds. Seeds help people. I'm reminded of a flybaby who lost her home. We almost had a fire the other night. If it had been, 100 yards closer, our house would have been hit with lightning. And we've had that happen before. But we had a flybaby whose house caught fire. They lost everything. And my sister Dina used to work at Walmart, and she contacted the Walmart in their area. And people gave to this family. People gave to this family. And this one lady was wanting to give to the family, and she took it to her husband, and they sat down and they talked about it. And she was writing out the check, and he said, no, add another zero to that. So they sent a check to this flybaby who'd had a fire and was having to replace everything. And then in a month's time, that amount of money that he had donated had multiplied by 10, because he got an insurance check he never expected to get from 3 or 4 years before, from a huge flood that had happened. So plant your seeds. Those seeds mature, and you're going to be surprised at what you get from them. You will be blessed. When you continually give, when you continually pray. I mean, this is a day of prayer, y'all. This is a huge day of prayer. Michelle sent me a link that it's a 24-hour day of prayer for our country. Starting at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock. She didn't know when, but we just need to pray. I listened to a podcast about the shofar yesterday. And I didn't know what a powerful tool of the Lord the shofar is. So study about it. Scott Kesterson did a show about the shofar, and that was just fun. He's on Podbean. We're on Podbean. Plant seeds. Pray. Tithe. Give your heart to the Lord. And you're going to be blessed. You are going to be blessed. So I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. It's Anti-Procrastination Day. Time flies when you're having fun. It really does. Plant your seeds, and you are going to reap great benefits. Be good, kind, and sweet. Good to yourself, kind to others, and let that sweetness and joy just ooze out of you so that the world knows what you stand for. See you tomorrow.